Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So today I have another speed test for y'all, and this time it's going to be between the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus on the left and the Google Pixel 4a 5G. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the specs on these devices. The Pixel device has the Snapdragon 765G, which is a budget chipset, and it has 6 GB of RAM. And then the S10 Plus has the Snapdragon 855 chipset, which was a flagship chipset for, I guess, now around 2 years ago, because the 888 was released. So, and it also has 8 GB of RAM. So the chipset should be better on this, and there is more RAM on this as well. So we should expect better results from this device when doing a test between these two. But you never know, something might be more optimized. And this phone has been out for a little longer and it has been used for a longer time, so it might change the scores that we get for this. So let us begin. First up, we have our boot up test. So we're gonna boot up in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now they're both booting up, and let's just see which one opens up first. So they are a little dusty. Sorry about that. Let me go ahead and wipe it. So I'm gonna wait for the Pixel to open up because I feel like it's gonna open up real soon. And the Pixel is opened up right now. We're waiting on the S10 Plus now. A couple more seconds. Come on. And there it is. So the S10 Plus did take a little longer, around 4 seconds, and that's kind of weird. Usually it does open up pretty fast. So now that we know who won the boot up test, the Pixel 4a 5G, I'm going to go ahead and open up both these devices and get them ready for the speed test and be on the app screen. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Now that I have both of the devices open, we can go ahead and start running our speed test. So if you've watched my videos from before, you already know how this video goes. And I have a couple of apps laid out right here. I'm just going to go ahead and open them up and see which one opens them up first. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a RAM management test by going over these apps again. So that's about it. And then at the end, I do a Geekbench test, a CPU benchmark. So first up, I'd like to say that the S10 Plus right here is on Android 10 and the Pixel 4a 5G is on Android 11. So the S10 Plus, it has the One UI 2.5 skin on it. So let us begin now that we have everything out of the way. So let's go with Instagram in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was the S10 Plus. Let's go with Snapchat in 3, 2, 1. That was the S10 Plus again. Let's go with Twitter in 3, 2, 1. And that was the S10 Plus. Let's go with YouTube in 3, 2, 1. That was the S10 Plus again. Let's go with Amazon Shopping in 3, 2, 1. That was very similar this time, but the S10 Plus was a tad bit faster. Let's go with Best Buy in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the Pixel 4a 5G this time. Among Us in 3, 2, 1. And that was the S10 Plus again. Let's just get out of there. Smash Your Road 1 to 2 in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was very similar, but the S10 Plus was just a tad bit faster. So these are very similar. The first couple of apps, the S10 Plus was definitely faster, and then the games, we're seeing very similar results. So Subway Surf in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and see which one opens up first. S10 Plus was in the loading screen, and let's see which one loads up first. Okay, that was the same right there. Let's go ahead and get out of there. Let's go Temple Run 2 in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so very similar times loading on both of them, and the S10 Plus has got into the game first. So the S10 Plus so far is beating the Pixel 4a 5G, and that is to be expected. This does have the better chipset anyways, and more RAM. So during the RAM management test, if we do see the Pixel closing out some apps, that's because of that. Let's go Dead Trigger 2 in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the S10 Plus got into that screen right there. Let's click play in 3, 2, 1. And please update your version. Okay, so I just updated these games, so they might have not gone into there. And I guess I'll just call it a tie because the Pixel 4a 5G wasn't able to open it up. I guess it got an update. And let me go ahead and reassure everyone that right before these tests, I go into the Play Store and I go ahead and refresh my updates just to see if I have any updates. And if there are, I go ahead and update all of them. And I go ahead and run this test real quick before I take the video so that everything is ready and there are no issues with the video. But I'm guessing the Pixel 4a 5G has still not received that update or just got it because it just asked me to update it. So I'm going to go ahead and call that a tie because they both got into the loading screen first. So let's go ahead and wait up on PUBG and see. Okay, just X out of those. Pixel did get into the loading screen first, and the Pixel 4a 5G is in. So the Pixel 4a has beat the S10 Plus on this test right here. And now that we're done with all of those, we can go ahead and do the RAM management test. So in the app opening test, the S10 Plus definitely beat the Pixel 4a 5G by a couple of apps, but not by too much. And that was pretty normal. That's what you'd expect for some basic apps. These aren't really apps that want too much processing power anyways. So I might go ahead and change these apps later on or add more apps. So let's go ahead and begin with the RAM management test. So Instagram, okay, both of them are open. Snapchat, they're both still there. Twitter, just loaded in some new tweets. No refreshes so far, which is pretty good. If you guys did watch my previous video, the Pixel 4a 5G did have a lot of refreshes when it was going up against the S20 FE, which that device had a lot of refreshes as well, so I don't know what was going on that day. Okay, so all these apps are still open. So far, both the devices kept open all the apps, so both of them are still here. Okay, Temple Run, they're both still here. We can resume both of them. Let's go with Dead Trigger 2. Okay, so this one got into the mission. That just closed out. I'm guessing that wasn't able to keep it open, and that's why it closed out. So PUBG, both of them are open. So both kept up basically all the apps open. I'm not sure what happened with Dead Trigger right there. I'm guessing the game crashed or something because it just closed it out for some reason. But that is okay. So far, they both kept up basically all the apps open. The S10 Plus did keep all of them open, and then the Pixel 4a 5G did have a slight issue with Dead Trigger 2, and that is okay. That just goes to show that 6 GB RAM and 8 are pretty similar, and they will keep open all these apps right here. These might not be too much, but they still are around 12 apps, so that is pretty significant. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out all of these apps. Let's go ahead and close, and then we have to scroll to the very left, clear all, and now we can run our Geekbench 5 test. So in this test, I'm just going to go ahead and run a CPU benchmark just to see the overall scores of both of these and see which one wins. The S10 Plus will probably win because it does have the better chipset, but I'm going to go ahead and test it out anyway so we can see the scores. So let's go ahead and run the CPU benchmark, and once this is done, I will get back to you guys. And so the test has ended, and now we can see the scores for both of these devices. So let's go ahead and check out the S10 Plus real quick. So on the S10 Plus, the single core score is 743 and the multi-core score is 2666. So that's a pretty good score for a chipset that's around 2 years old now. And then for the Pixel 4a 5G, we can see that it's definitely lower. Single core 595, multi-core 1621. So we can see that there is around 1,000 point difference for the multi-core score, and then single core, not too big of a difference, but it's still around 150 points of difference. So this goes to tell us that the S10 Plus definitely has the better chipset, and it is the better processing. It has the better processing power. So that's about it for this speed test. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.